Hey guys, I hope you're all doing great. It's been a while, but welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been thinking about, I had asked some questions on my Instagram page. If you're not following it, go follow me. I'm Thecurlienoodle. I've asked some questions on my page where I asked my followers what kind of content you would like to see, and someone asked me to talk about wet frizz. So this current video is about wet frizz and how to avoid it. As a curly or a wavy, you would have always experienced frizz, especially wet frizz. So today it's all about how to avoid wet frizz and what are the causes of wet frizz. The first and the foremost cause is, it's something that I always come across, is using ingredients that are sensitive to my hair. My hair is kind of sensitive to aloe. I can never do aloe masks. I cannot do products which are heavy in aloe. I cannot work with deep conditioners especially with aloe. That is when, because the minute I leave my deep conditioner on for about 20 minutes, then the frizz is there. Even if I wash it out completely, the frizz still is there. So I need to actually clarify and then use products without aloe. So that is the first thing that causes wet frizz for me. And then the second thing that causes wet frizz most of the time is not enough hydration. Your hair being curly hair is prone to it needs more moisture. It is prone to be really dry. So if your hair does not have enough water, enough moisture in it, then wet frizz can be seen. Like, even if your hair is damp, then wet frizz is seen. And then the third thing is the protein moisture imbalance. So I have always had that my hair likes protein, so I do use protein pretty regularly, but some people are not used to the protein. So what happens is that when there is a protein overload in your hair, or there's a moisture overload in your hair can become super tangly. It kind of becomes brittle. It causes kind of like a webbing. It's like a web. You cannot untangle it. It's a tangled web. So that is one of the most important reasons, if not just one of, if not the important reason, it is one of the most important reasons. So if you are using a lot of products, check the protein amount in your the protein content in the products, check the moisture content in the products. The best thing about curly hair products is, most of the time, the first ingredient is water. So if it is water based and you don't have any silicones in your hair, silicones in your product, then it works really well. But the second thing, the ingredients, the first 5 ingredients after the water, which means that the first 6 ingredients in total, you need to make sure that that they do not have any ingredient that your hair is sensitive to. And if it has the protein, you can check protein by making sure that you check for the hydrolyzed wort, hydrolyzed wheat, hydrolyzed quinoa, hydrolyzed oat, hydrolyzed silk. All of these are proteins. So if any of these the hydrolyzed proteins are there, then in the first 5, it means that the protein content is like really high in your products. So the best thing to do is to kind of switch up the products a little bit. Make sure that you have products with absolutely no protein, or kind of like less protein, which means that in the complete ingredient list, it's somewhere in the middle or in the bottom. That means that the concentration of protein is not too high. That is the thing you can do to try and avoid wet frizz. And then the second thing is, when you're styling your hair, make sure your hair is wet to, if not soaking wet, then at least make sure that your hair is kind of super wet, not extremely damp, or not towards the dry but towards the wet. aside, if you have a spectrum, you know, this is complete dry and this is complete wet and this is soaking wet hair, and you do not want to style on soaking wet hair because you might have multiple reasons, because you don't style in shower, or you don't like the definition. You're more someone like me who likes both volume and definition. So what happens then is, if you have a spectrum like this, try to kind of make sure your hair is on the most damp to wet side, because that will help in retention of moisture when you apply hair products. It can be a leave-in, a cream, a gel, whatever it may be. So that is one of the ways you can avoid, you know, having wet frizz. If you're someone who's styling out of the shower, the best friend you can have is this. It's a spray bottle. It, you know, if you can see, it kind of continuously mists water on your hair. So if your hair can, you know, it gets dried like super easily, then what you can do is try to use a spray bottle like this, and then it helps, you know, you add more water and then you style it. So that helps a lot. And here is how I styled this hair. I'm currently plopping, so you can check how I styled my hair. So this is currently my hair fresh out of the shower. I have just washed and conditioned my hair and I need to style it. This is how my hair is like, because I've had it in a microfiber towels for a long time. To make this video, you can see that it's not really defined, and the water content also is like, my hair is like really damp. It's not wet at all. So I will style my hair now. The first thing that I'm gonna do is section my hair with this claw clip. I got this from Marshall's. I'm gonna go section my hair into the top half and the bottom half. My hair is now sectioned, and I'm going to section the bottom half into two halves again, and the bottom half is super dry. So what I'm going to do is apply some water to it. I'm going to take the spray bottle and then spritz a lot of water onto my hair. Now my hair is completely saturated with water, as you can see, and I'm gonna apply the Breahni Moisture Milk as my styler. To apply it as a styler, I take about a dollop in my hand and then emulsify it with water really well. So once the product is emulsified well, I apply it to my hair, to this particular section, using the praying hands method and raking method. Raking method helps in clumps, and then when you apply the product with praying hands method, the product is distributed well enough into your hair. So this is, as you can see, that there are clumps being formed, and I'm also gonna scrunch it after raking. Now to style the other side of the section is again a little bit dry, so I would like my hair to be more wet. I am spritzing it with water so that it becomes really wet. My hair is now really wet, and I'm taking some product and water and emulsifying it in my hands to apply it on the section of the hair. And I will apply it again using the same technique, but just the praying hands this time, but no raking. Now to avoid wet frizz, you can also style your hair with brushes, or it can be a white comb or a styling brush. The styling brush that I'm using right now is the Breahni Styling Brush, and the link is in the description below if you want to buy the brush. And what I do is, once I've applied the product, I brush my curls out. This helps in more even distribution and also creation of clumps. And if you see, I'm taking smaller sections out of my hair and brushing it so that the clumps are actually created, and then I squish it to make sure that the clumps stay intact.
and this helps in reducing the frizz that is formed when you're styling your hair. Both my lower sections are styled, and you can see that they have absolutely no frizz at all, and there is pretty good clumping. I'm gonna style the rest of my hair and be back.
Another thing is, when after you style your hair, you kind of need to make sure that you don't diffuse on high heat, because that causes frizz. When you're diffusing, all of the moisture content is sucked in by your dryer, so do not diffuse on high heat. And if you're someone who does not use a diffuser, say you let your hair just do its thing, dry out for a couple of hours. We know our hair will not dry out in 20 minutes, of course. So what you can do is invest in a really nice robe like this. This is a satin robe. I got this from NP Streets, and the link is in bio. So what you can do is invest in a really nice robe like this. So with either a satin or a silk robe, with that, what happens is, even if when you let your hair down and you are air drying, it does not really cause frizz. So satin does not have too much friction towards it. It's a very smooth fabric, so it does not let your hair cause frizz. So that is another way of how you can avoid. I hope you all had a good time watching my video. Let me know in the comment section if any of these tips helped or not, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of those. You know what to do. And thanks for watching the video. See ya.